Podcast. I am your host, Simon Parsons, and this is the show where I help healthcare providers take control of your skill set and create a career on your terms by using locum tenens to make that happen. On this episode, I want to share with you 5 red flags to look out for from shady recruiters or shady locums agencies. Now, just to be clear, I've been a locums recruiter for about 10 years now. And I've done very well doing this. I'm absolutely passionate about what I do. I've worked with I've placed over 230 physicians into locum tenens jobs, and I've made them over $36 million in compensation. Passionate about what I do. And I feel like I've done so well in this industry by looking out for my doctors, by putting them first. In fact, one thing that I always tell new physicians when I start to work with them is that if I look out for your interest first, then I'm not going to have to worry about my paycheck. And in 10 years, that has been true the entire time. Now, unfortunately, this is a game of sales where people make commission. So sometimes they put their own best interest before yours. So that's why I wanted to share this, is to give you some ideas of what it looks like behind the scenes so that you can protect yourself and so that you can make sure that you are working with somebody who is reputable and looking out for your best interest. Now, the first red flag that I want you to be aware of is anytime you talk with a locums recruiter and they're tight-lipped about the location, that's a major red flag. Make sure that anybody that you work with has a good relationship with you and is willing to give you as much information as you need about that job. Now, the reason why some reps or some agencies are tight-lipped about this is because they're afraid that you're going to go behind their back and go speak directly with that hospital or that clinic and try to arrange their own locum tenens assignment and cut them out of the deal. Or maybe they're working with another agency and then they're just going to go over, talk to their other rep and tell them where that is and steal the job away from them. But here's the thing is, in 10 years, I've maybe seen that happen 2 or 3 times that I know of. I'm sure it's happened here and there without my knowledge. But for the most part, everybody that I work with, I want to give them trust. There's no reason for me to not trust somebody unless they give me a reason, right? So I'm going to be very open with them and share every detail that they want to know. And typically the physicians that I work with, I send them all the details that I have about the job. I give them all the information that they need to make a good decision about that locum tenens assignment. Red flag number 2 to look out for is what I call bait and switch rates. So what this is when a physician is being promised rates that are clearly higher, maybe 30 to 50% higher than what the market is supporting. Now, oftentimes I'll be talking with a physician, and once we start going over rates, they'll say, well, this other agency told me, and they give me the rates that are about 30 to 50% higher. And then my question is, so are you being confirmed at those rates? And then they tell me no. Okay, that's the reason, that's the key right there. If you're not getting confirmed at those rates, then there's clearly an issue. If they're higher than what other agencies are promising, there is a market rate, and it typically stay somewhat in the same range. So if somebody's promising you significantly higher rates and you're not getting confirmed, that's what I call a bait and switch rate. And here's why that's important to know about, is because when it comes to locums, these agencies, all locums agencies, or most of them that I know of, are part of the National Association of Locum Tenens organization. And they have an agreement to work with each other. And if one locums agency presents you to a hospital, they typically hold that relationship for 2 years. So if they can promise you some rates that are higher, even if they don't get you confirmed at those rates, they have you locked in. They've basically taken control of that relationship, and they've not only locked you in to work with them, but they've locked you out from working with another agency that does have a good relationship with that facility. So that's very important. They can come back to you and say, well, you're not getting confirmed because you priced yourself too high, or somebody else came in at a lower bid, and make it look like it's your fault. But the truth is, they didn't give you accurate information. They didn't present you at a rate that is competitive. They've guided you in the wrong way. So red flag number 2 is to look out for bait and switch rates. If it sounds too high, if one agency is promising rates that are clearly higher than other agencies, there's probably a reason for that. Red flag number 3 are locums agencies or reps that are telling you that you cannot work with another agency and that you have to exclusively work with them. So here's the thing is I want to earn your business. So I am totally open with you working for multiple agencies. Not only that, but if I can't get the job done, then like I said, I'm looking out for your best interest. So if somebody else is able to help you get what you want, why would I get in the way of that? Here's the thing is you do want to have the ability to work with multiple agencies or multiple reps, but don't go too heavy on this. If you can find 1, 2, 3 reps or agencies that you feel good about, that you're comfortable with, that should cover most of the jobs in the marketplace, unless it's a very, very big job market. But if you work with more than 3 agencies, it's probably going to get a little bit difficult when it comes to paperwork and keeping track of things. So I suggest look around, make sure you feel good about who you are working with, and keep it to 1 to 3 agencies or reps. Okay, red flag number 4. I guess I have one more to add on to number 3 is watch out for an agency that urges you to bail on another assignment. So say that you have something confirmed and an agency or a rep tells you that, hey, I've got something better and it pays a little bit more than this. Go ahead and tell them that you can't do that and come work with me. Huge red flag. That will damage your reputation. And I promise you, you do not want to work with a rep that is telling you to ditch out on another job that you've been confirmed for. Really, really bad advice. Okay, red flag number 4 is presenting your CV without your knowledge. This happens all the time. This is a clear violation of the NALTO rules. In the NALTO rules, this is the National Association for Locum Tenens Organizations, it's very clear about the expectations around presentations. They need to be clear about where the job is located, what the volume looks like, and what the procedures look like. And they should be sending you a confirmation letter so that you can keep track of where your CV is going. If you find out that an agency has been sending your CV to locations without your knowledge, make sure you sever that relationship with them. You should be getting a letter from them telling you exactly where the CV went. Not only that, disclosing the location and disclosing the rates that they presented you at. Okay, red flag number 5 is saying that you are confirmed for a job without giving you a confirmation letter. This happens a lot, even in the perm jobs, right? So there will be a recruiter who says, hey, we got this locked in for you. Well, if so, again, they need to be sending you a confirmation letter that shows the terms of that deal and how much you've been confirmed for. If you do not have a confirmation letter, then that deal is not solid. It is not intact, but it can cost you other opportunities. And I've seen this happen so often. I had one physician that I was talking with. I was trying to get him into a locum tenens assignment over the holidays, and he kept waiting and telling me that this other deal was going to come through. So I pushed him on it. I said, ask him to show you a letter of confirmation. And when he asked for that, it took him 2 weeks for the other agency to finally admit that the deal wasn't solid. And it cost him another opportunity that I could have gotten him into that would have been perfect for him. So make sure that you get a confirmation letter. All right, quick recap on the 5 red flags of shady recruiters. Number 1 is not disclosing locations. Number 2 is bait and switch rates. Number 3 is saying that you can only work with one recruiter or one agency, and also them asking you to bail out on another job that you've been confirmed for. Red flag number 4 is presenting your CV without your knowledge. Again, they're trying to lock you in to that relationship with them. Red flag number 5 is saying that you are confirmed for a job without giving you a confirmation letter. So let's say that you come across one of these red flags and you don't feel good about the rep that you're working with. Make sure that you talk to somebody who's in leadership. Ask for that rep's leader and have a conversation with them. You can ask to switch reps, or if you don't feel good about that company, there's always different companies that you can work with. And like I said, you are welcome to do that. And it's good to find a rep that you trust, somebody that you know, somebody that has your back. So I would use your gut and go with somebody who just feels like it's a good relationship. All right, my friends, I will wrap up this episode. You can drop into the show notes and grab my Ultimate Locum Tenens Playbook. There's a lot of good information in there. And then please leave a comment if there is a topic that you would like me to cover on this channel. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next episode.